The market bounces, drops, consolidates, then sells off into the close, and we crushed it today. This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so the market bounced up into our resistance area before pulling back to support, getting another small bounce and consolidating, and then selling off pretty hard into the close. This puts us in a precarious position heading into the CPI data looming as the market is positioned to shoot down lower if the bears want to follow through. The question is, will they? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, so we killed it today on the market. As you're seeing on the screen now, a lot of guys did very well. But this one here, guys, this is why I do this. This is what makes me so happy, seeing one of my traders have his first ever 5-figure day and make money that's helping him change his life, prepare for the future, and navigate a market that's crushing people right now. This is why me and PT are in here and what we're doing, and we would love to have you join us. So if you'd like to hear more about that, stay tuned for later in the video. All right, guys, for now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, here we are on the 1-hour futures chart for the S&P 500, and where they left off today is a little bit of a precarious spot. And the reason for that is the low that they brought it down to was just above the pivot. Then they gave us a little bit of a bounce here, and they've kind of been hovering here, and they're staying above the pivot for now. And as long as they're above the pivot, there are more options in play. So let's talk about the paths that we could see and what we're looking for tomorrow. First, let's talk about the main path and the main setup that we have, and that is a more immediate down move. Okay, so off of this high, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, down here for this is wave 1 of 3. Remember, you got this big wave 2 here. So this is 1 of 3. This bounce would be 2 of 3. And then we'd be starting 3 of 3 down. And that wave 3 of 3 down should target at a minimum 37.16 and can target easily the 36.66 region at the 1.236 extension. So that is the main path we're looking for, and to get confirmation of that, we would want to see them move down through the pivot. The pivot sits at the 618 and 764 extension of waves 1 here and 2 here, and those numbers are 37.96 and 37.65. So if they break below 37.65, it becomes very likely that we're going to head to at least 37.16, and again, the more common target is this 36.66 area down here. The difference of which one we hit will be what the next counts are. So we'll go through those in just a second. So if that is the case, we should see a pretty strong move down through the pivot to give us that confirmation. So if it's going to be the 37.16, all right, then that'd be the 1.0 extension. We'd look for support there. And then we have that potential B wave, that larger B wave we were talking about. Okay, and that could be our support, and we could bounce there and see up to this 4,000 region. But the issue I have with that, and the reason the bigger count, the 1-2 count is now the primary count, is that this 1-2, the bigger 1-2, okay, does target the 1.0 at 37.16, so we would call that A, B, C down as a 1.0, A equals C extension. However, off of the high here, this 1-2, so this wave 1 of 3 and 2 of 3, you can also measure those, and it targets this 36.60 area, which is where wave 3 of 3 would target, which makes a lot of sense. So the size of wave 1 down here makes it look more likely that if they break through the pivot, okay, we would be heading towards this 36.66 region, but we would be paying careful attention at 37.16 for any kind of reversal or bounce there. And if they blow through that, then we would look for that 36.66 area to hit. So the difference between the two will be if they can hold the 1.0 or not. And if they can hold the 1.0 and we see a very strong bounce, we should see a pretty strong bounce in a C wave, then we can start to think that we're headed towards that 4,000 region up to complete this larger wave A. However, if they can't hold that 37.16 area and they blow through it, then we're looking down at 36.66. The other count, okay, that is on the table still, and it kind of lines up pretty well with the low, is the diagonal, okay, for the move up. So remember, we've been talking about this C wave diagonal coming up here to this 4,000 region where you got a 1, 2, 3 up and 1, okay, or an ABC up in 1 rather, an ABC down in 2, because remember, diagonals are all 3 waves. It's a 5-wave structure that's made up of all 3s. So wave 1 is a 3-wave structure, wave 2 is a 3-wave structure, wave 3 and so on are all 3-wave structures. So that means they're all ABCs. So if this was A of 3 and this pullback here is B of 3, C of 3 lines up at the 1.0 pretty well at 39.83. We were looking for about 30 or about 4,000 for the wave 3. So it lines up pretty well for that target. So if they start to rally and take out this 38.73 high, and it looks pretty impulsive to the upside because you would expect this C wave to be a 5-wave structure, okay, then we can start looking to that 4,000 region in this diagonal setup and potentially have that as an option. So I don't love the diagonal setup. I don't trust them. And the move down off of this high to me is a pretty clean 5 waves. So you wouldn't expect to see a 5-wave move here. So I don't expect this to be the count, but it is possible. It is still on the table that we have a move up towards 4,000 and a very strong rally off of this low. So that is the other option on the S&P 500. Okay, guys, so remember, again, it is if we move through the pivot, then we're looking at 37.16 first as a possible support destination and reversal. If they can't hold that, we're looking at 36.66 after that. If they happen to rally directly higher and break this 38.73 area, this high right here, then we should look for, make sure it's an impulsive move and look for a move higher towards this 4,000 area. All right, over on the NASDAQ, we have very similar setups, okay? Our A, B, C setup points to 11,250. Our 1.0 actually is right around the 11,321 area, but the 11,250 area would be what we would expect to hold. And then below that, if they're going to continue to move down, we would target the 10.6 to 10.500 area for a completion of the extension of this A wave down. For the diagonal on the NASDAQ, the blue count, so we would have our A wave and B wave, but I don't love the diagonal as much on the NASDAQ because the C wave is projecting to where we would expect the entire move up to get to the 12,550 area. So if we're going to that 12,550 area in wave 3, that means we would have a 4 or 5 that would take us up above our 1.0 projection. And while that's not impossible or something that can't happen, it does make it a little less likely and not fit quite as well into our pattern. So I don't love the diagonal as a leading move higher, but it is possible that we could be seeing that. So if they do take out this high at 12,030 here, and it's an impulsive move, then we could see a direct move towards that 12,550 area. Guys, this market has been very difficult to navigate. You can see all the whipsaw and movement we've gotten here, and we've done it very well in my room. So if you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. Okay, there's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. All right, it'll take you right over to the website. Once you get there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there and become part of our trading team. I want you to see how it all works, and I want to make sure it's for you before you ever spend a penny. Our first room is the Invest with Jacob room, and in there you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, as well as all of your Elliott Wave questions answered. We trade the SPY and the QQQ. And we swing trade, which means our trades can last anywhere from a few days to a few months. So we don't day trade quite as often as a day trading room does. However, if you are looking for day trading as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, and PT's reduced risk binary method that just crushes the market. You've seen these guys hitting 800% winners, 1,400% winners, and how they do it is how the trade is structured, and it's very unique, which is why you kind of need to see it to understand it, which is why we give you that 7-day free trial, so you can get in there, check it out, and make sure it's for you. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into a small account and is building it using mini ES futures and disciplined trading methods. He's averaging 3 to 4% gains per week in there and shows you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in here so we can make some money together. All right, guys, key takeaways for today. We need to see the market move down through the pivot to confirm the downside immediate move, and that would target 37.16 and then 36.66. If they can't do that, then we would look for an impulsive rally that breaks this high. And then if that happens, we could be on our way to this 4,000 region in a diagonal for wave 3, where then we would look for a wave 4 and 5 to continue that pattern from there. Over on the NASDAQ, similar setups. Okay, we have our ABC setup down toward 11,250. If that can hold, we would look for a strong reversal in C up towards that 12,550 area. If it cannot hold, then we look lower towards 10,005 to 10,600. And we do still have the diagonal in play on the NQ as well, although I don't like it as much because it projects a little bit higher than we would like. So it's the least likely to me of the three. Okay, guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.